What is up, guys? Tomatron the One here, and today I have for you a review of the recently released All Engines Go Push Along Harold. Now, I have not seen any reviews on this guy yet, and in fact I didn't even know he had been made available in the UK until I checked the Entertainer website, and this guy was available to purchase. And so I thought, well, I don't know when I'm going to find him. I can get him delivered. Henry and the Lookout Mountain pack aren't available yet, so you know what? Let's get Harold. Now my experience with diecast Harold is pretty limited to the Ertl model. I had two, I broke two, and I still need to get a new one with the blades that aren't broken. But for Take Along, the only one I really have is this one, which is the one with the magnet that I did a review on recently. That you retract the magnet, push the button, blade spin, and pulls the magnet up. Now this is basically a normal Take Along Harold, and this design for him has pretty much remained unchanged since 2002 until this new one. This is the first time that they've actually changed the Harold mold significantly in 20 years. That's insane. And not only that, they actually gave Harold a non-embedded face for this range. So anyway, here is the box. It's pretty nice. It's pretty wide and obviously uniquely shaped for his blades, which appear to be a separate piece, which you will spin one part around and make, you know, the 3-blade look. Other than that, nothing too special. There's his promotional image, and there's the back of the box. Again, nothing special. Remember the days when they had a big image of all the sets you could collect? I miss those days. But anyway, let's get Harold out of the box. So, unless I'm mistaken, he is still available on the Entertainer website. He is £8, if I remember correctly, which a bit much, but it's better than nothing. So anyway, here is Harold out of the box, and I have to say, he's quite big. He's quite chunky. He's very blocky, but he does look nice. So I'm sure what everyone's most curious about is his face, and here it is. Gotta say, not the biggest fan. It doesn't really look like Harold to me. I mean, this has basically been the Harold face for 20 years, and some like it, some don't. I like it personally. I'm just too used to the embedded face. So having a non-embedded face is just a bit weird, especially since in All Engines Go, Annie and Clarabelle still have embedded faces that are the same colour as their bodies, whereas Harold doesn't. But other than that, I mean, it's a decent face. I just don't really see Harold in it. Anyway, so to get the blade changed, I think you just... What do you do? Ooh, that's quite stiff. That's what she said. Sorry. You just pull this single blade out around, and it should, yep, just lock into place like that. There you go. So now we officially have Harold. Does it spin? Oh, that does not spin. Oh, that's... Oh. Unless it's stiff, that does not spin very well. Oh, yeah, that's me putting a good amount of pressure on it, and it's so tight at the minute that it won't just freely spin. Oh, that's interesting. The back one, yeah, the back propeller still spins normally like you'd expect, but the front one is just fairly rigid and stiff. That's interesting. Let me just put my camera down a bit here. This is the first video I'm filming with my new tripod that I got for Christmas, which is nice. It's a good one. It saves having to put my phone against some DVD cases and stuff. But yeah, here's the new Harold body. Like I said, it's just very blocky. Like, this is all just a block. His main body's just a block. His windows aren't painted in, but that's to expect with Thomas Toys nowadays. Compared to the Take Along, he's pretty big. Take Along is longer, but I mean the new one is probably can't tell from the angle. It's just slightly wider, but obviously the blades in comparison are just, I mean, it's not even a comparison. The new ones are so much bigger. He doesn't have too much weight to him. I mean, this guy has more stuff in it, so I'm not going to really compare it to him, but just compared to a normal diecast, this one's pretty, it's pretty light, to be honest. It does have some nice details, though. There's his name on the bottom. Unfortunately, Excuse me. Unfortunately, this is held in with rivets and not screws, like a lot of the All Engines Go push-alongs have been using screws, but some of them recently have been using rivets. So if you want to take this guy apart, you can't, unless you want to drill into the rivets, but I really don't. Yeah, there's not really much to say. It's Harold. He's got some nice detail on this side with, I guess, I don't really know what these are supposed to be. This is, on the old one, he just really had, he didn't really have doors on either side, except for that one. And, on this one it's a button, so it's more pronounced. But this is a door on this one, so I don't really know what these are supposed to be. If they're supposed to be like cargo hatches, I guess, or they're just big doors. But on this side, the printing... see if I can get focus on here. On this side, the printing is lined up with the mold. It is embossed, so it does stick out. But on this side, it's a bit misaligned. But it's not something I'm going to lose sleep over. I wish they did the windows up top. It just looks a bit weird. Not much to say on the back end. He's just, as you can see, quite blocky, quite square. Yeah, there's not too much to say on Harold, really. It's a Harold. I guess the main disappointment for me is the blades. I did not realise they were going to be this stiff. They might loosen up over time, but every other Harold I've ever got out of the box has had nice loose blades that you could really spin around. Now, I do appreciate, though, that this one has the, if I can get it in count, the single blade that you have to push around. So that could be the reason. It's probably just conserving space, conserving plastic, which is a good thing, but, getting it out, first of all, is quite stiff, so I was a little bit afraid I might break it, because these aren't the thinnest blades in the world, but they also aren't, like, the thickest. They do have, actually, before I forget to mention, they do have a nice bit of curvature at the end. They actually curve out. They go from a straight line, and they curve out slightly. Can you see that? Let's see if I can focus here. You see that it comes out to a curve on the end, but unfortunately they didn't paint the tips red like they are on his model. See, the end of the tips of his blades are red. But to be fair, that's not something that the Take-Along ever did. I don't think even the Ertl did that, so I'm not going to hold it against this one. Printing on the face is nice. It's a weird shape, but whatever. I do recommend this toy, I have to say. It is a nice model of Harold. I wouldn't say rush out to get it. I'd say if you're a big Harold fan, then this is a nice one to add to the collection. Let's put him next to the Take-Along one. If you're a Harold fan, I'd say he is a nice one to add, but I wouldn't rush out to get him, unlike someone like Henry, who, even though he's just a repaint of Gordon with a different boiler, that's, it's Henry. Everyone loves Henry. This one, I'd say, if you come across him, I'd say pick him up, but don't go out of your way to look for him. If I had to give him a rating, I'd say I'd give him a 7. I think he's a good toy with, like a lot of the All Engines Go toys, he's a good toy with the setback being he's based on a design that I'm not particularly in love with. But overall, I mean, he's really just a square with floats on. If you mess that design up, I would be shocked. But overall, like I said, 7 out of 10. He's not the best model. Don't rush out to find him. But if you do find him, I'd say pick him up. Anyway, not really much else to say. So yeah, there's Harold, and I'll just bring this guy back in for comparison. So yeah, there you go. Thank you for watching.